now, Eddy?
There you go. I'm done.
For those that,
I like it. I like
Are
it. It's
in,
the official Spuds
you know,
and Spells intro music performed by Sam.
that was the intro music, yeah, exactly. Spuds and Spells, as played by Mr. Marsh.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Right, we're going to have a
Please,
recap
no.
first.
Access my Patreon. No, I'm kidding. Go on.
We'll do a Kickstarter for your music lessons, mate. You know what I mean?
Maybe better ukulele, because this is like £3 off Amazon, but yeah, great.
Oh, they're nice. So, as a catch-up, I'll try and do this in 1 minute, so we've got a good 2 hours.
No pressure.
For varying reasons, you lot have made your way across Heroes Row, the massive continent, to the adventurous town of Cruel. Bonding quickly in a unify or die situation. You do a bounty, you kill a demon, you get his sword, you then enjoy the Bake-Off Festival of Cruel, date night with Malzeth, the kiss of an incubus, and a couple of white dragonborn who discovered they were not as hard as they thought they were. Said dragonborn, turns out we're currently working a bounty. They're trying to collect 5,000 gold pieces as a reward on delivering, dead or alive, a silver dragonborn, preferably alive. After much discussion and potato calling, the party has decided to head to the dragonborn city of Karat to investigate further why the bounty has been put out in the first place. They left Cruel on a ferry, riding the river Talhulla to the port town of Toul. This is on the north coast of the Etrurian Empire. Repelling the attacks with the aid of the ferry crew and a couple of badass bounty hunters, you arrive in Toul looking for a way to travel to Karat. Look at that, bang on a minute, nice one. Now, here's your recap description of Toul. There are ships awaiting in the out in the bay. Several people in small rowboats wielding different coloured flags are signalling them when the next ship can come in, and there's basically a take it in turns mentality. The ferry itself gets escorted down by a small rowboat to a smallish landing pier, and the harbour itself can hold about 5 ships at a time, depending on how big they are. Easiest way to tell how big they are is how many masts they've got. Currently in the dock there are two mast ships. The first 2 mast ship is crewed completely by orcs, green, brown, grey. For most of you lot, you know it's from Savai in the far north. The other 2 mast ship is crewed by humans and orcs. Most of the orcs are brown skinned. Other than trading, it doesn't appear that you guys can guess where they actually hail from. Then there is a 3 mast ship. It's very different to these 2 because its sails more triangular. The style of the ship is a bit more slender and more streamlined, compared to like more thick and robust looking of the other 2. This ship is completely crewed by elves. Most of their clothing is quite fine, and well, from this distance, looks more expensive than the rags that the other guys have on the 2 masts. A lot of the elves have long hair. They've all got long hair, very dark or very light. There doesn't seem to be in between. They have top knots and buns, straight styles tied back. Past the wooden dock area. Well, before you get past the dock area, immediately to your right are the huge storehouses, where a lot of the cargo from the ships are getting brought down, carried across, wheeled off, etc. Past the dock, you get to the sandy stone area, where the town itself is before you, and it's fronted by a very obvious divide. Straight to the right of the docks is the huge storehouses. Further up, but on your right, is the merchant, well, quite obviously the merchant-esque flavour of the town. Selling spices, clothes, fruit and nut, alchemy, there's a fishing stall. You know, it's very much, this is where you'd go to shop on the dock front or sea front. Across to the left is the R&R side of the town. You've got taverns, you've got inns, very clear establishments of pleasure. There seems to be, well, you probably wouldn't call it a casino, but there's definitely a lot of gambling goes on there, so it probably is a casino. So it's quite split that you have the merchants on the right and the rest and relaxation on the left. As you leave the dock, you see a huge stone statue just unveiled by the amazing help of yourselves and 2 arguing old gentlemen. When the canvas is pulled off the statue, you see is the sculptured visage of a huge Goliath, heavily muscled with a massive 2-handed warhammer, Said Warhammer is the head of it is covered in arcane runes that not even Malzeth understands. Warhammer is held in both hands. Upon covering the head and the shoulders and the back, wearing it as a pelt. This huge Goliath clearly is wearing the pelt of a draconic creature, dragon, dragonborn, massive lizard. It's unknown in this current sculpted state. And the plaque that explains what it is, basically in common, says, "Here stands the greatest hero of the Etain Empire," and then it says the name Bahamut. You guys you were asking about a ship to Quran, and Captain Ivory suggested that 2 taverns to look in are the Dark Hat and the Monster. 3, 2, 1, you're in the room.
DM, does Etain know anyone in this village?
Bard, ask Etain.
Why are you asking me again?
I'll come back to you. Etain, do you know anyone in this village?
Why? What?
Probably.
Why?
Sam, probably, yeah.
Oh, no.
Why'd you ask?
I don't know. You just seem to know everyone everywhere. I just thought you might need to know, what we're doing here. What do you want to do?
You're asking me what we're doing
not
here.
even there.
Are you
I'm here to find a ship.
so the they said the Dark Hat and the Monster are good places to pick up people who might be able to transport us north, but we thought for your sake, Etain, perhaps we could ask some questions if you happen to know anybody in this area about if anybody would know what had happened to Ragesh.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We're gonna need somewhere to stay as well, I guess.
We could either stay within the Dark Heart if we're heading there, or the Monster, or we could look to. I think what might be best is if we perhaps take a wander around. We have all afternoon, and then as long as we end up in a tavern of sorts and have a rough idea of when the next ship north is heading out.
Can you hear that music?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing I can hear.
What about now?
Pretty much, yeah. What Sam said.
What about now?
It's not too bad.
Fuck yous. You can have your atmospheric music in your.
At least you tried. I mean,
I'm not
it
gonna lie,
it didn't really ring Dark Heart or Monster,
But yeah, so if we perhaps spend the afternoon either looking around the town itself, and then as long as we end up in a tavern of sorts, with that rough idea of when the next ship north is heading up, and if we can get on it.
Well, if it's gonna take a while to make those inquiries, we need to work out now whether we want to stay in Dark Heart or in the Monster, because both of them will fill up pretty quickly.
Well,
Wouldn't it be better
as
to
we
find out
have-
what comes in the boat? Because we might not need to stay here the night if it's in a couple of hours or something.
It is true. They said that the Dark Heart and the Monster is the best place to find that out. So perhaps we could head there first and then spend the afternoon exploring. Or
Okay.
I agree. Let's find our ship first.
okay, and then to the Dark Heart.
Mm-hmm.
we have a demon heart, so that's clearly fate. We should go to the Dark Heart.
Argen, perhaps we leave the talking to somebody else.
Join the dots, Bart. Join the dots.
Not with this. Not. Oh, whatever. I'll be quiet about it. I'll play some song.
But right, yes, let's explore and try and find this Dark Heart.
It's over there. It's not going to take long.
Easy enough then.
As Sendraks, is Sendraks covered?
I'm covered for what to do.
You're Jedi robed, aren't you?
Yeah, and it's warm, and I'm not happy.
It's wham.
Suffer.
Well, I was clearly briefed by the GM last week
Yeah.
Being a silver dragon, and I'm, from the north, I'm used to the cold. Here I am in a warm city with a big bloody robe on me. I'm warm and I'm unhappy.
Welcome to the Temple of Bayek.
Perhaps when we find this dark
Suffering
heart,
builds character.
we could have them run you a cold bath. Yes. It is
Oh,
something
that sounds
that they do.
lovely. My principal concern with wandering around is those two fellas on the boat, Mr. Magic Shield guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, and his orky mate have got friends, and we don't know where they are. And the more wandering around we do, the more likely we are to run into them.
That's a good point, actually.
True. If we head to the Dark Heart, perhaps you can stay indoors, and we will do the rest of the inquiries and whatnot.
Right, to the Dark Heart.
So you go pouring across. It doesn't take you too long to find it. As the closer you get to the taverns, the pleasure houses, and the inns, there is a abundance of volume. It's a mixture of music, shouting, the odd audible pleasure moments. It's all a mixture. It's just pouring out from these buildings. On the doors, there seems to be an almost unified security presence. So all these, there's quite large, hefty orcs, a few burly humans. There's a couple of the rougher-looking ladies, all armed with short swords or thick clubs. They're all wearing a blue sash just across their normal clothing, and it does appear quite obvious that they are the security on who comes in and who comes out. It's quite common in the heartbeats as you approach for them to disappear inside the building, come out and launch a few of the patrons onto the street. Bear in mind, you guys got there in the middle of the afternoon. This place is full swing. Could not get any rougher if it tried. You see a huge wooden billboard and a tiny picture on that wooden billboard with a black heart. There are several other taverns about. There is the one that you would think is the monster, but you can't really make out the wording under it. There's just some horrific beast on the front. You've got the Dog and Dyke. You've got the White Hart. You go to the Dark Heart.
Who told us to go to these two taverns? Who told us?
Captain Ivy.
Do we trust her?
Yeah.
She got us here.
Also got us attacked by a crocodile.
I think just being on the boat got us attacked by crocodiles.
Okay, I'm just being cautious.
Being us got us attacked by crocodiles.
Yeah, pretty much.
Into the Dark Heart?
So, who's first?
I'll go first.
Yes. So as Nalla approaches the door, the two humans, they couldn't get any more stereotypical. They've got scars on the faces and the chests. They're both wearing bandanas, the blue sashes across them. They sort of like arms are folded, trying to look all meaty. And they're about 5'10" and maybe 5'11". Nalla takes one step. So there's two steps up to where they are. So they've got a couple of inches on Nalla, and Nalla's still the same height as them when she walks to her steps. They both sort of look at each other, look a bit uncomfortable. And Nalla, you can visibly see them. They're grip tightens on their clubs, and the older-looking gentleman with a bit of grey in his stubble just looks at you. He's like, "All right."
Right.
You going to be giving us any trouble, big lady?
No, why'd you say that?
Because you're a big lady.
That don't mean I'm here for trouble.
That's a bit racist, isn't it?
Oh, turns and looks at Argen's small form with his little guinea flag. Is he with you?
Yeah.
Is he going to give us any trouble?
No one is going to cause trouble unless it comes to us.
I like it. And he gives a nod to the guy next to him. The guy just sort of shrugs his shoulders and opens the door for you. As soon as the door opens, what you thought was loud before, it's like being shot in the face with a speaker. There's screaming, there's dancing, there's fighting. You hear the smash of cutlery. It stinks of sweat, chuffing, stale ale. It's ridiculous. God knows what people are doing in the corners. The floor itself is covered in hair. It's covered in hair. And it's not rammed, but everyone just seems to be bumping it. What's so weird, Sam? Everyone seems to be bumping into each other, despite there being enough space for people to just stand there. Everyone's 3/4 intoxicated. Straight off to your left, there is quite clearly something going on that is just massively entertaining to whoever's shouting and bawling. Every time something happens, there's about 30 of these drinkers just throwing ale everywhere. Screw way! There's a bar in front of you. Behind the bar is a couple of young lads and young lasses running around like headless chickens. Older gentleman, looks haggard, but he seems to be smiling. He's really weathered and salt of the earth type bloke. And they just seem to be rushing backwards and forwards, trying to serve everyone. It's constant. People are just smashing back the pints. The interior itself, the wood, there's a second floor and looks down like a very old saloon. So it sort of looks down into the central area and you can go upstairs and stuff. There's people hanging like over the balconies just drinking and singing songs. There's 5 different flavours of song going on. No one knows the words to any of them. Argen, your ears are bleeding.
I see this is a place of no bar.
You know, it's like stop in the name of Betty, you know, war, black wolf. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous.
That sounds like coppers.
What's happening over by the... I'm going to walk over to where the old shaving arrangement happens.
So you start trying to push your way through and being a young lad and a bit fresh-faced, you know, you try and elbow your way through these drunken sailors who are definitely not been on land for a few months or just in excess. And they sort of let you through and you're like, let me through. And you don't get all the way to the table, but basically you get close enough that you see at the table there is a human male who's got a beard, he's got a black bandana on, he's got a green shirt, a sleeveless black waistcoat over it, all go full sailor-esque. He's sat down, and he looks like a smaller version of Nalla, but he's definitely human, right? Sat opposite him is a dwarf. Shoulders you've never seen as wide. I mean, if there was anything you could say about this dwarf, like his shoulders are almost as wide as Nalla's. He's 4'11".
Wow.
Right? He's just a little square. He's only got
a cube with thumbs.
Yeah, he's only got a blonde goatee, and he's got a blonde mohawk. And basically, what they're doing is this dwarf is left hooking this human, and just seeing how many he can take before he puts him on his ass. Every time he takes one, he don't go unconscious. Everyone cheers and throws in a few more copper and silver coins.
Wow.
And every time he gets punched, the human just takes a massive swig of this, what looks to be a custom tankard that could probably hold about 3 pints.
So it's a bucket.
Pretty much. It's got an handle on it, on the side. So, yeah.
Classy!
Perhaps, Nalla, you should offer your services to see if you can knock him out.
I don't... Do we need the few copper?
I'm assuming only Sam's over there, so you guys can't see this.
All right.
I'm just a bit shocked and daunted. This guy like getting a thick lip from me. This dwarf.
So he's literally like, another Texas swag. Braces himself, and you just see the dwarf come back. And you see the head of the human sort of sag down, and he comes up. Everyone goes, whoa. And he takes another swig of his drink. Like, you get covered in ale.
Oh.
Just pissing out everywhere.
Oh.
And people are just checking you. And they're like, did you see that? Did you see that?
I did. I did. He's no normal man. He's made of iron.
They're just roughing your hair up. He's a piece of iron.
Nalla, have you seen this? I'm trying to call Nalla through this crowd. It's probably not going to work. Nalla! Ah!
What?
This looks really cool. I think.
What is it?
Come and have a look.
Conversation across a bar, the best way to enjoy a pint.
I walk over towards him.
There you go.
As-
Use your
As
meat.
Nalla makes her way over to her spud-loving friend Argen, the people again they sort of like turn around. Argen had to like bully his way through and like crawl under people's arms and stuff. Nalla just start putting her hand up people's shoulders. And as she does, they understand she wants to come through. Some resist. Nalla pushes them aside. You get to Argen, love, and being 8 foot, you can see over the people in front of you where Argen's trying to peek through. And you see what I described to Argen. There's a large human male, heavily set, allowing a dwarf with a blonde mohawk to punch him in the face.
Nice.
What do you think? You think you could win this?
I thought you were on about you.
I ain't playing this. You're mad. You're like strong and stuff. Look at this. Look at this. This is a moneymaker. I start losing teeth. I start losing charisma. However, we could clean up here. Well, you could clean up here, and I could watch.
How many has he had a... What's the point of the game?
I turned to one of the drunk. What's the point of the game?
Guys, what game? Right.
What's he doing?
What you need to do? That guy lets the dwarf punch him in the face. And all we've got to do is bet if he goes down or not. And the more he stays up, the more of our money he takes. But as soon as he goes down, we get all the money.
And how long has this been going on?
This is like number 7.
Oh. Nalla. This is like number 7.
Why would I stand there and let a guy punch me in the face?
He might not be able to reach his face. You know, there's quite a size difference. It might be
You
more
might
of
need
a
to calm
fight.
down.
Adrian, are we there with him now? Like all of us, or is it just those two?
It's up to you. You tell me.
I'm just
Oh,
waffling, man.
I'll go over
Other
there.
people can do shit, you know.
I'll go over there. Nalla,
Feel
you
the
should
moment.
hit him.
Nalla, you realise Malzeh followed you through the crowd as you made space.
Using surprising stealth skills.
Nalla, you should
Or just
hit
following in the wake.
him. Hit him.
Why would I hit him?
We'll put money on you hitting him and knocking him out.
I think
big.
it's just
Look at
the
you.
way.
No, we'll make a bet with them.
Bet him for the cup.
Ask how much money is in the cup, and then if you win, you get it all. If you don't knock him out in one punch, you put however much is in there, like double it.
But what if there's more in there than I've got?
Well, that's why you ask them first. So if they have 10 gold in that cup, you go, I will put 10 gold in that I can knock you out, and if you win, you get all the money.
Okay. Gentlemen.
Oh,
Care to raise your stakes? And I point at Nalla.
Oh my god.
You just announce it.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a bit of a pause where those around you are like, what, the stick? And everyone starts going a little bit like, ooh. And then just as the dwarf's about to hit the human again, he stops. And he just turns and he goes, you boy.
Me?
Yes, you. Forwards.
Right. Hello.
And they part and they let you up to the table. And well, now you're past these people. What Nalla couldn't see before directly up the people is there is a great axe on the floor with a shorter handle, probably for the dwarf. It's got dwarven runes all over it, resting there. And then on the floor is a great sword in a third sheath, just laid on the floor. No one's touching him.
Oh.
And then you see the dwarf across you, and you can see now that he's got a scar down his left eye. He's just looking, he's like, say that again.
Just saying, you've hit this guy about 7 times. Wondered if you want to raise your stakes.
Suggest.
Nalla here. I point to obviously Nalla.
He looks and he goes,
Hard
Goliath.
work, okay?
Aye, Goliath. She's really strong. Strongest person I know.
Know a lot of strong people.
Malzeth can lift an ox.
He's looking around. He can't see Malzeth because of
He's
Nalla.
right at the back. He's right.
Lifted an ox. So what do you suggest?
Nalla, do 2 ox.
I hit her, or she hits him. What are you suggesting?
Well, do you want to win your money, or I mean, the guy over here he's laughing at you. You want to hit him?
Do you want me to hit her?
No. Do you want her to hit him?
Ah, see, that's not the game.
Oh, right. You take a punch off you.
Yes.
Ah. All right. Okay. I see how it is. All right.
There's no need to growl.
There's Tiny's with us, right?
That's,
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could take a punch off you.
no, you couldn't, boy. She's clearly a warrior. No warrior I know carries around that. And he points at your instrument.
This passes the time.
I nudge Nalla, and I'm like, you should. I think you could take him. Say that you will get hit. It sounds vicious, but I reckon you could take it.
No. Hold on.
Do what you did on the boat. Where you got really angry and you could just keep. I've seen people hit you.
I tell you what, if you plant one on me, Biggin,
Get punched.
I don't miss. I'll let you hit Nalla and lose all your money.
Why are people wanting to punch me?
So,
Look at
you want me to
you're massive.
And if you go down,
Don't mean I
punch
like
her.
being punched.
Do you want some money or not?
How much money are you putting forward for this stupid idea?
5 gold.
So 5 gold, you sit where my friend's sitting, I punch you, you go down, you give me 5 gold.
If you feel like hitting me. If you can hit me, that is.
Oh, so he's allowed to dodge.
You're not allowed to dodge. The game is to take the punch.
Yeah, go on.
Oh my god.
He sits, but everyone's like, hooray! The boy's doing it! The boy's doing it! They all part.
Oh my.
The big guy that he was punching just gets up and he's like, ha ha! Well, boy, you're gonna die. Steps off to the side. Been punched a little bit. And as he stands up, he's about as big as Sendraks. And he just sort of moves aside and he stands behind the dwarf. You sit down.
I'll put my ukulele on the table. Go there.
Sit there. It's all like.
No warrior holds that, right?
And the big one's like, well, nice knowing you. And the dwarf's like, you ready, boy?
Right. In the which side do you want? This side. This side.
Give me a constitution check.
Check. Yeah. I got a 12, and then I'm going to use a luck point to add a d20 to it.
To add a what?
Another d20 to it.
No.
That's a luck point, mate. I can use it for anything.
Yeah, you re-roll and use the d20.
You can spend an addition to a d20.
Yeah, you don't add d20 to it. You roll again, and your new score is what you roll.
Is that is it the feat? Is it?
Yeah, hold on, mate. All right. I'll use a luck point.
It's a re-roll, mate.
I'll re-roll it.
That's a nice tail, Elantara.
Is it all together?
Yeah, so you choose which one of the... It's lucky, right, the feat?
23.
23?
Yeah.
What's your AC?
16.
Cool.
Sam, you were using lucky, right?
Yeah.
The
It's, I rolled a 17. I get a +6 for a con.
No. So like with
Well, that's
lucky,
a con save, not a con check. The con check is just your con modifier.
I can't even find a con modifier now.
It should be next.
I can't modify 20 then. Sorry, my bad.
That's all right.
the lucky one, you basically roll. You can choose to roll an
Roll
additional,
dice, yeah.
and then or choose to roll an additional one. So you could roll. It basically means you can roll. I'm guessing your 3 luck points like in one go if you're really bad.
Right.
But you have to do it before the outcome's determined.
Get
So
to
you
pick
basically,
each one.
yeah, but basically before he said the outcome's determined, you have to. You can keep rolling, and then choose which.
So, Sam,
Yeah.
stick your chin out. You sort of open one eye and brace yourself. And you see him bring up his left hand.
Mm.
And he puts his left hand down and he smashes you with his right. Your head snaps back. You literally see the room spin. You feel your lip burst. You feel your teeth loosen. You're pretty sure your nose has just cracked. You take 13 points of damage. But you stay conscious.
All right. See, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
He gives you 5 gold coins.
Double.
Oh my god.
You're
Double.
out here somewhere. You're out here somewhere. I'll double on the middle one.
Okay. Another 5 gold.
Yeah.
What is wrong with him?
Give me a constitution check.
21.
21.
Don't kill me.
He's gonna kill you.
He hits you again with his right hand. Again, your nose definitely breaks. You feel a crack in your left eye socket, and blood trickles down. You can't see out your left eye. 3 of your teeth come out.
Oh no.
3 of your teeth come out. Your both lips are bust. You're choking on your own blood, and you take another 14 points of damage. And he puts over another 5 gold.
14, was it?
Yeah. But you still stand.
Absolutely.
Are you meant?
Maybe.
Not anymore.
say
He's
something.
just Swiss cheese his brain.
Why is
You
he
got
doing
to
this?
you got to taste
Why
life.
is he doing
You gotta
this?
I
taste-
don't know. I don't know. I'm not even at that part of the bar. I can't even smack sense into him. That would probably kill him at this point.
Boy, are you finished?
Argen, you should stop.
You got a big fist.
Think yourself lucky it's not my left.
But he gave me a right on purpose.
Argen, do not fight.
I'm
You
not
should
going to
stop.
fight. He wins. He wins.
You're 10 gold up.
Thank you. Thank you.
The big one behind him is like, well, fuck me, boy. That's some good shit.
Ow.
Dwarf just puts his hand up and he calms down instantly, does the big one.
What? I didn't hear then.
The dwarf puts his hand up and the big human calms down immediately.
Yeah. I try and put my hand out to shake the dwarf's hand.
As he takes your hand with his right,
Yeah.
he shakes it and he breaks a finger. Take a point of damage.
Oh, fuck. Ow. You're doing this on purpose now.
You're doing this to yourself, man.
I did nothing to myself.
You've got a death wish. I think you've got a death wish.
No, you got to see all of life. That's what it is.
Until you are healed,
Death
Sam.
wish.
Death
Until you are
wish.
healed, Sam, your current facial state is -2 charisma.
What if I heal myself?
Then you'll be fine.
I'm going to make my way over to Argen. Crumple up some mistletoe in my hand, go woods on him. And that is
As Hacken comes out of the crowd, and I was like, what the fuck?
Alright, I guess I'm 13 points back.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Why
It's
did
almost
you
like
do
your
that?
teeth grew back.
Why were you doing that?
It's weird. I'll explain one day. Oh. Well, I can see our both eyes now. Thank you, Elantara. I mean,
I could be proud of you, lad. That were a good fun.
hey,
Yes.
I'm not having another one of those though. You want to get a drink?
I'll get you a drink.
Just want to say I ain't weak. The guy called me weak, so I go and collect my ukulele from the table. I forgot to go.
I grab hold of you and we walk off towards the bar.
Right.
You get a lot of pats on your back as you come through, mate, all the sailors and that. Yeah. Ladies and gents of pleasure, give you the wink and stroke your cheek and stuff.
Not a bruised cheek.
Yeah.
Ow.
Some of the pleasure boys love the cheeks.
Pleasure, boys. You're obsessed.
Well,
Right, yeah. So I've had enough attention now. I'm gonna go sit in the back.
I don't believe you.
What do you want to drink?
All of us.
You, what do you want?
I'll take a water.
What?
As he knocks something out of your mind, Argen, you are not one for water normally.
I'm still hungover from Mrs. Atlava. I'm not gonna lie.
What
Perhaps.
do you want to drink?
Well, I will also take a water.
Anyone else want to drink?
Anything as long as it's cold.
Ice water.
Pint, please.
Anyone else want milk?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Right, so I order
so you go up to the bar.
2 waters, 3 pints.
There is a young lad that comes up to the bar to serve you, and as you get to the thing, he looks up and he's like, hello?
Hi.
What can I get you?
Can I have 2 pints and 2 pints of beer?
As you say water, everyone starts pissing themselves next to you. Even the boys looking a little bit nervous, like all the customers are just laughing. He's like, we don't sell water. We sell ale. Lots and lots of ale.
Anything so long as it's cold.
You've got an ale, be quiet. Right, so you don't do anything non-alcoholic?
No. Everyone's still pissing themselves. Fuck him, yeah, this big bitch.
Got suicides in the pub tonight, isn't it?
That's suicidal people. Just spin round now. Spin round.
Windmill. Keys in around.
I'll have 5 ales.
Oh, no, okay. Potters off, and there's a couple of big barrels behind the bar, and you just see him grab tankards and scoop it in and put 5 ales on. That's 5 silver, please.
I'll give him 5 silver.
Well, takes it. And he goes off to it.
I wave to the guy as he goes past.
The barman?
Yeah, the barman.
Hang on 2 seconds. What's the problem? And he's looking at you.
Have you got a steak?
This isn't a cookhouse. You want to go a few rows down?
No worries.
Aunt Bessie's. She'll take care of you.
What about Greg's? You got Greg's?
He's across on the other island.
Okay.
Sendraks, I've had an idea.
Mm.
I have to freeze water. So if we were to soak your robe in water, give you an hour of being cool.
That sounds very nice.
Okay, well, if you
I
want
doubt
to
it'll last
find
long in this
sufficient
bar,
water,
Maybe if we get a bath or something later, we can freeze that.
okay.
With me in it.
Yeah.
I hand everyone the drinks.
Right, you're all set there. You've all got an ale, except for those that don't.
I think I have some. I think I have some in my water skin anyway. It should be good. I just need to remember to fill it up.
Etain, give me a perception check.
Say that again.
Etain, give me a perception check. Well, fuck me. You hear all the plot for the next hour and a half. So while these guys are supping the rails and Elantara is going to turn Sendraks into a universal soldier, you overhear a couple of people and they're just chipmugging. They're trying to be quiet without bringing attention to themselves, but being the skilled attention avoider you are, you can see it a mile away, and you just sort of lean in a little bit, and you can hear these two gentlemen talking about fat loot. The two that they've caught, they'll get a pretty penny for, and if those two don't get paid for, they'll end up taking the ship as well. So they'll have a ship, they'll get their own crew, they can sail away and plunder more. All they've got to do is keep these two away. That's kind of what you pick up from the conversation.
All right. And what do these fellas look like?
Just rough, dodgy looking, the sort of types you'd probably keep an eye on if they were to run a crew. They look probably slightly more dodgy than most of the sailors in here. They're wearing bananas, they've been at sea for a while, they're grubby, they've got dark, thick, greasy hair. They're tanned from being seamen.
Total pirates then.
Yeah. But to be fair, most people here would probably claim that title.
Oh, it's Chico. Oh, okay. I'm gonna keep listening, see if they say anything else.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything else?
Etain, you should perhaps, if you seem to be a friendly person, if you could perhaps speak to a few people and see if they know anything about the ship heading north to Koran.
Are there any elves in the tavern?
Perception check.
14.
Okay. So you just start watching the others drink their ales and that, and you can see, and it's just catches your eye, mainly because it's similar to what's of your race. And you see an elven gentleman sat at a table. Clothes are quite fine, very similar to how Rygesh was dressed in the sense that the whole hero pants, as it were, and a very fine, shiny, silky shirt. His hair is long and black, jet black. It's tied down and he's got a top knot. Clearly elven features, the ears are pointing out to the side. His eyes are very almond shaped rather than circular like ours. And he's probably drinking ale, but he's not drinking it out of a tankard. He's got a small handleless cup and he's just sipping it with two hands. But you can't imagine he's drinking anything else.
Okay. With the dark hair, does he look like another moon elf?
Nope.
No. Okay. Are there any open seats nearby him? I'll make my way over.
Okay. So as you make your way over, it's almost like it's easy for you to walk over. Not being a people person anyway, you're trying to avoid people, but they're almost ignoring you, the people in there. And they don't necessarily walk out of your way on purpose. You just find it very easy to walk over to him. So are you taking a seat next to him, or what were you doing, sorry?
Yeah, I'm going to say hello.
Okay, so as
Nice
you
to meet a
approach,
fellow traveller.
as soon as you approach, he puts his cup down and you can see the frothy brown liquid in it. And there is a spare chair. And he just looks up. He doesn't look standoffish. He's not broadly smiling or anything. He's just very. He just gives you a little nod as he sees you, as an acknowledgement. Do you stand or sit?
Yeah, I'll sit down.
He nods as you sit, and he simply just says, "Would you like a drink?"
I'm fine, thank you. I was wondering what brings another elf to a place like this.
Another, and he almost catches himself when he realises like your hair's long and blue, and you're reasoning, oh, "Forgive me, my lady. I was lost in thought. I'm here on business."
Is the business related in any way to the sea and the trade?
It is. I'm normally a land traveller. I do not care well for the sea.
My companions and I were looking for a ship to travel to. Where is it we're going to?
Quran.
Quran. To travel to Quran.
There was a lucky guess.
Would you know of any suitable vessels?
I would, but why would you travel to the City of Dragons?
It's a long and involved story.
For the elves. I would have thought you know this, but your attire does not. Where are you from? Forgive me. What is your name?
Elantara. I'm a druid of the mountains, so cities and knowledge of them and where is safe and where is not is not my strongest
Elantara
point.
of the mountains. Is a nice name. Which mountains?
I've not brought the document up, I don't know.
You look like you're from the Pride Mountains.
Yes, there's a very distinctive weave to the cloaks from there.
Is the hound yours?
He travels with me.
It is a beautiful creature. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Hido of the Blade.
It's an honour to meet you, Hughes of Blade.
Me and my people will. Well, the ship I'm on. I'm only a passenger, so I could not speak. But they are travelling north into the seas. They may pass Quran.
Do you know if they're looking to take on extra passengers here?
I don't know if they're looking for extra passengers, but my people are very open to hospitality. So maybe a simple conversation and an offer of aid would be enough.
Is it expected to be a dangerous voyage?
There was no danger on the way, but I cannot speak for any danger past this point.
I see.
Are you trying to avoid danger?
Your words made me curious.
How so?
Saying that an offer of aid would be advantageous.
Yes,
Perhaps if there's something needed.
they are always, even if it's not something obvious, those of rank in my culture will always accept or gift favour if aid can be brought. Even if they're not seeking aid, if there's something you can convince them that they are in need of aid with.
I see. Thank you for making that clear to me.
It is my pleasure.
What is the name of the ship you're travelling on?
It is the Wandering Leaf.
Oh, that sounds fitting. If you'll excuse me, I'll speak to my companions. And perhaps we'll see you there.
And he gives you a little, he puts his arms together and he gives you a little nod as you go past. As you walk up. A pleasure, Elantara of the Mountain. Elantara joins the party.
So I was speaking to that elf. He's on a ship, the Wandering Leaf, which is heading north, so it might be heading to Quran.
Oh, okay. Is there space on it?
That's potential. We'd need to check.
Who do we need to check with?
The captain of the ship. He's just another passenger, he says.
I see. Does he know when or where the captain is, or when he is heading out, or?
I didn't ask.
Okay.
I'm not used to it. It's a new thing. I've some of the ins and outs still to learn.
I see. Well, perhaps if we could arrange a meeting with the captain, or if we could, or even if he knew when he was heading out, and we could try and, mainly a meeting with the captain would probably be best, I think.
Mm-hmm. What does one do? Do you send a message to the docks? Do you send a message?
I'm sure he would. If he is a passenger upon the ship, he would know the captain and would be able to speak to him. Perhaps, if not, then he might be able to arrange a message to go and find him. But if we,
I get the impression that dealing with the people on this ship is not the same as dealing with others. We may not be able to purchase passage. Convince them that we have something to offer them.
Something to offer them.
And that we can be an assistant.
I see.
Like
yes.
An exchange.
Could you ask him perhaps?
The way it was described to me is to make an offer of aid. As in, we can bring something that they are needing.
Did you ask
to
them where
make
they
their
are?
journey more easy? I don't know.
Did you ask him why they were here? Like, are they from here, or? Perhaps if we find out why they are here, we could assist them in that, and then when they travel north, we'd have already earned their the passage, if that makes sense. But we need to know when they are traveling as well. If they are traveling in a month's time, it makes a difference.
Nobody stays here for a month.
As I said, he's just another passenger. We're better off speaking to the captain of the ship.
But
Or the what do
should.
we call it? A purser? Who's in charge of things? I don't know about.
He should know some of these details, perhaps.
You'd probably want to talk to the first mate rather than the captain. They do the thinking. Captain does the telling what to do.
I
see.
This friend of yours, if you ask him if he could get word to the captain, if we could arrange a meeting perhaps, but also ask him when the ship is traveling or intending to travel, and why they are here, and if we know why they are here, we could perhaps aid them in this, in their being here, and that will earn our passage with them. If we know those details, so he is only a passenger, but he perhaps knows the details as to why he is here. Like, I'm assuming he would have been brought here for a reason. If we know that, we can earn our passage onto the ship. If they are here for a week, then we will help them during that week. If they are here for a specific reason until they leave, we will help them with that, and then that might earn our passage north.
That's an interesting perspective of it. I hadn't thought of it that way.
But if you speak to your friend, he might be able to tell us why they are here, and if he can get a word to the captain as to helping or how we help him. He might even know why they're here, and if it is for a specific that they need to purchase something, or they need to speak to somebody, and we can assist in helping that. Or I don't know.
As you've already said, yes.
Yeah.
I shall speak with him further.
Perfect.
Are you reapproaching the off?
Yeah, I'll go back to heading.
Yeah. As you get there, he gives you a little nod and gestures to the chair again. Welcome back, Elantara of the mountain. Tiny, your mastiff is going crazy.
Sorry, I could just hear Rocky and I'm getting kind of like from the
Doggos!
from the background as well. Right, thrown now.
Stop. No.
Sorry. My friends were wondering if you know when the Wandering Leaf will be departing. And if there is
I believe
any...
they are. I believe they are in port, as it were, for maybe a week or two. They have business in the mainland, where they paid a great amount of gold to hold their spot in the harbour. It is not common,
see.
but they do have a very important passenger with them.
Really? Would that be yourself?
It is not, but thank you. She is a noble lady of our lands.
Oh. And is it her business that the ship travels upon?
I could only guess, but it is not my place to inquire in such a noble's actions.
I see. And do you know what business the crew of the ship has here, that they would hold a place in the port for so long?
The noble they have with them, they will be escorting her into the mainland.
I see. Perhaps that is something my companions could assist with then.
That would be a great offer, but also you would have to be very careful. My people do not like outsiders. So if you were to offer it involving the noble lady, you would have to be very persuasive.
I see.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but and they may use you as cannon fodder if such a disaster was to occur, but I don't see why it would be a bad idea.
My friends are strong, versatile, practical.
I see you travel with quite a company. They stand out quite a lot in a tavern of sailors.
Yes, they stand out in many places. Who would you recommend I approach?
I would speak to Ito. He is the what the humans would call a first mate.
I see. Thank you again, head of the billet.
Very, very welcome, Elantara of the mountain.
Perhaps I should see you on ship. Perhaps not. Right. I'll head back over to the others.
How did it go?
He knows a bit about why they're here. There is a very important noble elven lady on the ship as a passenger, and the crew are escorting her to the mainland from here. So the ship's going to be here for the next week or two.
Okay.
They've reserved their berth in the port for that time, which apparently is very unusual and very expensive. And he recommended that we approach Ito, the first mate, with our offer of assistance.
Did he say where this Ito might be found? Or
for some reason, I think on the ship.
Yeah, there is a ship. Is he from the ship with the others who look like him? I'm sure. I think he might be.
The
There was a
Wandering
ship
Leaf.
that we noticed. So if we find that ship, perhaps he's on there.
Mhm.
Do we want to? Are we happy to take this option, or do we want to perhaps, while we are here, to make some more inquiries as to whether there are
I think it's worth making more inquiries.
ships heading north?
There may be a challenge in that my people are quite secluded, and they may not be open to such a mixed company as ours,
I see.
being in such close quarters as on a ship with them.
I see.
So I think it's definitely worth investigating other opportunities.
Okay, perhaps if we all look around the bar for more opportunities at this point, and see if anybody stands out as somebody. Well, we are sailors, are they not? Perhaps if we just make a few inquiries, and by this, when I say we, if Etain being the one who is pretty good at, or I'd say Argen, but look at his face right now. It is.
Hey.
He's still a bit bruised and bloody, but his teeth are back.
Although you did seem to get a few pats on the back, so this might be the opportunity for you to.
Yes.
Now you're
I
one
think
of
his
them.
reputation might assist us.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
oh. Want me to go and speak to them?
Just there are sailor types, so they're not that are here. Perhaps speak to a few and see if you can gather any information as to whether they are heading north.
Those of you that are going to check around the place, the types that you would probably approach regarding this information, give me investigation checks. So who's going to have a nosy around? Sam?
I'll have an OJ around.
Eddie?
Yeah, mate.
I'm going to sit at the table and
So you're not, no?
hold the fort.
I'm going to
16.
What the language is doing?
16. Sendraks, investigation?
No, I'm doing it.
Me and Sendraks will stay here and have an arm wrestle. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Investigation?
Uh, 15.
Sendraks?
What? For what?
In-
I didn't say I was investigating.
I thought, are you not looking around for a sailor?
No, I'm keeping my head down.
All right, you probably. Cheers, Sarah.
I could hear perfectly clear what you were saying, and I said what? I'd said no, I wasn't investigating.
All right, I heard it other way around.
No.
Hermit my ass, love. Jesus Christ.
What?
Right, so I'm going to turn who's going first.
Etain, you're up. I'm holding my face, my beautiful face.
What's left of it? Yep, I'm gonna start sidling down the bar.
You start sidling down the bar. You see several stereotypical sailors, all flavours of male, females, hawks. I'm assuming there's male and female hawks, but quite a nice mix of the racials of the world, all pottering around, all getting drunk, all singing and dancing, and then you can pick the people that are a little bit more important, so you can tell the difference between the crew that are getting wrecked because they've been at sea for months, and those that probably hold a bit of responsibility. So you know from that the second in command normally chills out.
Give me that.
Doesn't have a pint, doesn't get sloshed because they've still got to make sure the crew get back to the ship, etc., etc. And you pick out a couple, maybe three, that you reckon probably fill the role of either they are the gaffer or they are at least of personal responsibility on the ships. And you see two humans and a dwarf throughout these three.
Okay.
One of the humans, like, appears to be very old, long grey hair, grey beard, still got the olive skin, still looks one of the natives of Atoria. And the gentleman next to him, these two are talking, but they're definitely not in the same group. They just seem to be just socialising. He's a lot younger, but you can see the edges of grey coming into his blackness, black hair. The dwarf is red-headed, real tight braids on the beard and the hair, in the sailor garb, as stereotypical as you can get, and he's just sat rolling dice in front of him, like these bone dice, just rolling them on the table. Every now and then he has a sip of his ale, doesn't neck it. Who do you approach?
You don't get to be old as a sailor unless you're really good at what you're doing, so I go to the old guy.
Okay, you approach the old guy. These two are just generally talking. One's saying, "Oh, that storm last winter nearly ruined my ship," and they're just like, "Yeah, nearly got me," etc., etc. As you approach, the younger one sort of steps, and they've been doing this a long time. They get that you're coming to talk to them about something, so steps off. So just leaves the older guy looking at you. He's got a chain around his neck, and it's got a dove on the chain. It stands out quite.
Just what?
Not necessarily as a shock, but You expect
more
these
questions?
sailors to be a bit more
I got a ball.
less affectionate, and it's a really nice, beautiful piece rather than the ragged bits of leather thonging that the rest of them have.
Mm.
And he's like, "Can I help you?"
Well, I was hoping that you could. Myself and my friends are looking for passage to Quran, and I was wondering, you seem like the kind of person who might either be able to help me or make recommendations as to where else I could go. My name's Etain, by the way.
Hello, team. My name's Aguero.
Hello, Aguero.
Yes. Some of the guys around here call me Captain Guero, but you can just call me Aguero.
Well, thank you, and I hope you don't mind me saying, but that's an extraordinary piece of jewellery you have there. Haven't seen anything like it before.
He just runs his thumb on it. It was a gift from the wife.
That's very nice. Clearly a person of taste.
She was, yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, you're young. But yes, passage.
Mm.
I'm not setting out anytime soon, but and I don't think my merchant routes are going anywhere near Quran. But I could take you pretty far north, maybe to the east coast of Toa, the Highlands. They have some ports, they have some ships that might be willing to travel the channels into Quran territory, but it's a long way north. You're looking at 11, 12 days sail from here.
Oh, really?
It's going to cost a fair penny on a ship.
Okay.
Just yourself?
No, there are a number of us. There's 5 others.
Well, that's definitely going to cost a penny.
And I suppose there's no way of making this a cheap trip, is there, really? Given the distance involved.
Well, I could only imagine you either hire yourselves on the ship guards, which unless they're expecting trouble, they won't want, or they will just straight charge you for passage, unless you can convince the captain of the ship. Otherwise, I unfortunately am just a merchant vessel. I don't do a lot of the longer travels. My journeys are short.
Right. Okay. Well, I might make some more inquiries, and
if you're looking for longer journeys, you want the bigger ships. So you look like a beginner in this. Look for the ships that have got 3 masts or more. They're the ones going to be doing the longer journeys.
go straight down to the docks and ask them there, or does it make any sense? I'm wasting my time asking people in the bar, basically. What do
Well,
you
if you
think?
turn around, you can see most of the people you walk past to get to me are falling over themselves to get the next cheap ale that these guys are selling. And this is one of the better establishments.
Right.
Your best bet is look out for the. There is a quieter tavern, let's say, further down. If you go to the merchant area,
Yeah,
if you go
yeah,
down
that's
there,
right.
there is. It's a bakery of sorts. Next door to the bakery, there is a small pub tavern called Whitelocks.
Okay, White Locks. I'll
A lot
remember
of us captains and mates, we go there to relax while the crew do this.
Okay, but that's definitely somewhere to check. I'll head down there and check. And incidentally, out of interest, have you ever spent any time in Cruel? Would that be on any of your routes?
I have spent time in crew when I was a youth. Less so these days. Now I wasn't always captain of the ship, just a crew member. When we got the time off, I'd go to crew, full of people like that lot. And he points to your pals.
Yeah, it hasn't changed much since then. But no, the reason I was asking is that if you happen to find yourself up that way for a bit of R&R, if you go to Mauritius Tavern and tell her that Etain sent you, she'll look after you, you know?
I know Marisha.
You do?
I knew Marisha when I was a youth.
Well, she has her own place now, and it's very, very nice.
Good. She always talked about getting her own place.
Yeah, no, it's one of the best in town. And And she has a son there as well, Luke. He's a smart lad. But that's entirely beside the point. Yeah, there's a couple of places up there now. It hasn't changed that much since the last time you were in town, but there's a couple of different festivals during the quiet season that, if you have the time, you might like to come up and, I don't know, refresh me. But
Well, thank you.
just take the load off
I may just do that.
and ask anybody in town. And if you mention my name, and thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it.
You're very, very welcome, young'un. Matt, do you approach the young'un or the dwarf, or do I skip over to Argen?
I might as well talk to them. Confirm the information that the outlets just give me.
So do you talk to the young lad or do you talk to the dwarf?
I'll talk to the dwarf.
Cool. So as you approach, the dwarf looks up, tight red braids, beard and hair, rolling his dice. He rolls the dice, looks at him, sort of scowls, looks at you, he's like, just looks at you.
Am I interrupting?
He spits to the side. Well, I say interrupting. Really shit at this game. Drink. And he just offers you a jug of ale.
Yep, all right, thank you.
You sit down, he's like, good. I like a girl who can drink. Name's Red. Puts his hand out for you, shake.
Etain shakes.
Rough as fuck. Proper sailor runs. What can I do for you? I seen you talking to old Captain Aguero.
Yeah, I'm looking for passage to Quran. Do you know anything about that?
That's north.
It's very north from what I'm hearing, yeah.
My boys could probably get you there, but it's going to cost you a fair penny. Just you?
Party of 6, including
6?
Me. Yeah.
Damn. I could retire all of next season on that fare.
Oh, fuck me, really. We can...
Well, you're looking in a ballpark of 50, 60 gold each. It's a long way.
I know it's a long way, but I don't think we can do any more than 20 each, to be honest.
20? I
Or
could probably get you to Toa for 20.
how far is that in comparison?
Halfway.
Halfway? What about if we did a bit of work on the boat? We have...
Are you sailors?
Not sailors, we have other skills.
He looks across to the adventurer lot, i.e. your pals.
Yeah.
Those sort of skills I don't need on my boat.
All right, fair enough. What kind of route do you do? You merchant, fishing?
We do a lot of fishing. Can you fish?
No, the closest equivalent I'd have is telling people where the best fishing spots are local to me. I'm a tour guide.
You're a tour guide.
Yeah.
He passes you one of the dice. Give me a perception check.
Perception check. Where is my perception? That is 23.
Fuck me. So, as he gives you the dice, it's a D6.
Mhm.
And he gives you it, and you can tell it's made out of bone. And as you're twiddling it, you're a little bit confused. He just give you a dice, and you notice that the number 1, is replaced with a coin or a circular symbol.
Mhm.
The closer you look at it, you recognise the coin as as a symbol of the tour guides. You know that this gentleman is of the tour guides. He's watching your reaction with the dice.
Not seen one of these before.
You know what that is?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Where do you guide, little girl?
Cruel. Surrounding areas.
He's cruel.
Yeah.
So you'd be Etain.
Yeah.
What you doing over here?
The group I'm working for at the moment want to go to Quran. They trust me.
That's a long way out of your jurisdiction.
I know it's a long way out of my jurisdiction.
I don't
Ragesh.
suppose you've seen Ragesh.
Seen him recently. Why?
I'm supposed to be meeting him here. I wasn't expecting you.
Did you have business with him?
Well, yeah. He's a tour guide of Quran. It's about this time of year that he should be dropping off his information.
Well, Ragesh was with us.
What do you mean with?
He was passing through Cruel. My clients wanted to go to Quran. We were on the same ferry down, and he disappeared. I don't know where he is.
I mean, he just got off the boat.
At some point, we didn't. But that's the funny thing, right? I mean, we didn't pull up at any point. At any point of the voyage, it's not a very you know yourself, Cruel to hear Etain that long. So he must have hopped the boat. I don't know why. Do you know what else he was working? No, it's not like him at all.
Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
Well, you kind of answered it for me, because what I was going to ask you was, does that sound like anything that you might have, or does it sound like him working on that might have been?
The last thing he was working on was finding information for silver and gold Dragonborn.
Any idea why?
Well, yeah, there's a hefty bounty out for silver and gold Dragonborn. I'm surprised he didn't tell you.
Oh, he did tell me that. I was wondering if you knew why, like what the money's about.
You know how it goes. We don't. We just do what we're told from the reps.
Mm. But yeah, no, he's.
Is that why you're going to Quran?
Yeah, I'm interested.
You're interested in a bounty?
I'm interested in the reasoning behind it.
Why?
It's a long story.
Okay.
I have a friend back home.
And Cruel?
Yeah.
Friends are dangerous, tour guy.
Not a very close friend. But he's worried. He asked me to find out more.
Is he a Dragonborn? Of the silver variety or gold?
He's worried.
Give me a deception check.
Bravo.
Shit. What did you get?
10.
10. Cool. He just looks at you quizzically.
It's a really long story.
Fair enough.
But actually, I've another question for you.
Go ahead.
How far afield do you know of active tour guides?
How far afield?
Yeah.
How so?
You ever heard of one in Furia?
We don't. No. That's the other side of the world.
I know, it's the other side of the world.
Well, you've got me there, Etain. I'm only aware of the ones on this side of the world.
There.
Do you know of a tour guide in Furia?
Well, didn't, but Rygesh mentioned something.
Right, I guess.
Yeah.
That boy's starting to annoy me. He's not here. He's talking about weird and wonderful.
Mm.
Is Rygesh your worried friend?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, with him being Dragonborn, do you think we should be worried?
No. So run that by me again. I didn't hear you.
With him being a Dragonborn, do you think we should be worried? Do you think he chooses people over the tour guides?
He doesn't seem the type, and I wouldn't like to think it of him.
Yeah, he's quite cocky.
He is quite cocky, though.
Well, Etain, good luck getting to Karan. I'll be heading, if Rygesh isn't here in the next day, I'll be headed to Tofis to report back.
All right. Well, I'll ask my clients if they can afford your fees, and I might get back to you. Is that all right?
Not a problem. You got a day.
Cool. All right.
Go, Argen.
Cool.
So as you're potting around, you see a table on the rock to one there. You see a table, and there's two or three of them are orc-ish. They're not as fully dominant in their racial massive foreheads and big tusks. So they're probably half orcs. We'll go with, yeah. And they're sat with two humans at this table, and they're playing a card game with 5 cards. None of them are pissed out the tree. They all seem to be quite aware of their surroundings, and they're playing a game of money. So like they're throwing in coins, moving it about. So you can kind of get the feeling that they will probably hold authority over. But they're being responsible. So similar to our 10 knew that those of rank would stay sober as a designated driver.
Yeah.
Just past that table, you see the same elf that Elantara was looking at, and he's just scanning the room, drinking from his small like teacup type thing, and then you see a short lass. She's in like a suede corset. She's got long brown hair. She has pink and blue makeup on one side of her face, and in the makeup is like a filigree type pattern, a black filigree type pattern. She has 2 short swords either side of her on her hips. Like a suede corset is lifting her ample bosom.
Ample bosom.
She has a like ivory necklace on, and she is the ultimate flirt. And you can see all the lads around and a few of the lasses. They're all just sort of hanging on her every word. She's proper tarring it up with the pleasure boys and pleasure girls. But again, looks stone cold sober.
Fun versus information. Fun.
So you got the card game, you got the flirty lady, and you've got the elf. Who are you going for?
I'll go for the card game. I'm like, hammer my fuck's sake.
You water over to the card game. The 3 half-orcs look at you. Their clothes are probably slightly better than the scruffy sailors around you, and they're really tight towards them. They've got 5 cards each, and the 2 humans are sat furthest away from you, and they sort of sit back, and they've got their cards. And the gentleman, so that the 2 humans, one has got a really well cut goatee beard. His hair's really short at the sides, a little bit long. His bandana is just tied around his neck, and he's in browns and like buff browns and dirty creams of the sea and stuff. But there's a couple of gold points. He just looks at him. He's like, "Hello,
Evening. Afternoon.
afternoon."
Afternoon, even. Oh, my name's Argen. I wonder if you could help me.
You what? Sorry,
I wonder if you could help me.
I can help you. Well, that depends.
Well, depends on what.
What do you want help him with? And the 3 half-orcs and the other human are laughing.
I need passage to the north, Quran.
The north, Quran,
Yeah.
the city of dragons.
Hi,
Why?
I'm a tourist.
You're a tourist.
Yeah.
You're in the greatest empire on Colossus. This is the Etain Empire. We've got all the golds, the riches, the best-looking women, best-looking blokes. Blokes is a very Etain term.
I know, but I've seen it. You know, I've never seen the City of Dragons.
Seen Etoria. You are well-travelled for such a young man.
I know,
They're all
right?
start laughing again. You wish to see the Sea of Dragons? Well,
Right.
I just happen to have a ship, my friend.
Oh, excellent.
And the 3 half-orcs and the bloke sort of sit back, arms crossed, looking proper, like smiling. I have a
Yeah.
ship that can get you to Quran, but it will cost you.
Well, how much is it going to cost me?
It'll cost you 2 things. One, it'll cost you a game.
Okay.
And as he does that, the half-orc nearest he pulls out a chair for you to sit on.
Yeah. Have a sit down.
2, you have to chop off your left hand.
Come on, fellas.
They all burst into laughter. Only joking. Sit down. You.
Okay, I'll sit down, fellas. What we're playing? What's the game?
What we're playing?
Yeah.
You ever played the Dancing Goblin?
No, not say
So it's simple. Real simple. You take 5 cards from this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you have to make up a hand. 3 numbers, 3 picture cards, sequential, 3 of a kind and 2 of a kind. Real simple.
Okay. Did they have a similar game back in Ravenholm?
So, are you in?
Yeah, why not? What's the buy-in?
5 gold.
Everything seems to be 5 gold around it. Yeah, fine. Here you go, 5 gold.
We can make it 10 if you wish.
That's not.
Let's not. So, what I need you to do, Argen, is pull these 5 cards. And by that I mean, roll 5d6.
Okay.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, now we all bet. On whose hand we think we've got the highest. You ready? So the 3 half-orcs, they have a cheeky look. There's now 30 gold in the pot. 2 of the orcs fold out. Just put the cards out. The other half-orc looks around at you too, and he's like, the 2 humans and yourself. Puts another 5 gold in. So you're up to 35. 2 humans. The one that you were talking to, he's like, dear Brock. And he puts 10 gold in. Yeah? Guy next to him's like, it's a bit rich. Folds his cards. Comes round to you, 45 gold. If you want to stay in, you got to put in 10 gold.
Gentlemen,
I've won that.
it's my first game.
Well,
I haven't told me what to do with these cards.
you might be one of them hustlers.
Them hustle.
Don't be never let them in here.
Do you
10
see by
gold
the
to stay in, my friend. 10 gold to stay in.
Let's go. Right, okay, let's see what we got.
You put 10 gold in.
Sure. Or not. Actually, raise 12 gold.
To multiples of 5.
No, of course it is. I'll keep it at 10 then. See, don't tell the man the rules. You're going to make it own up.
So you match it, yeah?
Yeah.
Gets round to the orc. And the half orc's like, whoa.
Hey, yeah, can I sleight of hand one of these cards?
You can indeed.
Are you seriously doing that?
So before you do that, the half orc bows out, so it's just you and him, yeah?
Yeah.
55 gold in the pot. Now,
Mhm.
on the second round of betting, you are allowed to re-roll one of your dice.
Okay.
Yep. But you have to keep it.
Yeah.
So I will check. So he basically said he'll check. So he's letting you bet first.
With a hand like this, mate, I'm gonna have to raise you by 5.
Number 5. As soon as you say I'll raise you, he said, I call. And he puts in the 5 gold. Now do you want a sleight of hand?
Yeah, go on then.
Now, Sam.
Yeah.
Do you want a sleight of hand or do you want a perception check?
Ooh. I'm a sleight of hand.
Okay. Sleight of hand.
Old move. Bye.
Not 20.
Did you get that 20?
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious? I did not have expected that to go.
Plus the 5.
So you sleight of hand on that 20 and you change one of your dice. Yeah. What you changing it to?
Change to a 6.
Funny
Change it
that.
to a 6. As soon as you didn't do a perception check. Not 20. I'll be changing that to a 6.
Both did sleight of hand.
It's a bullshit.
I'm not holding these like this. So I'm not even. I'm literally not going to. I'm not going to move them. Not going to move them.
I wish I'd brought popcorn to this game.
So you both basically, on the old shimmy.
Yeah.
And you're looking at your card and he's like, final round of betting, my friend. Final round. It's on you. What do you wish to do?
Did he just call him?
Yeah, cool.
Oh, you don't want a final round of betting?
Yeah, I'll just call you.
Okay, so show me your first card. Starting at your lowest.
Lowest, a 3.
A 3. Same, a 3. Second lowest.
A 6.
Ooh, bollocks.
No. 4 6s. I re-rolled a 2 into a 6 and a sleight of hand and a 6.
Oh dear. Mine will be a 3. As you turn over the cards, the gentleman, he looks at you, proper shifty. You can see the hands, you've clearly won.
Yeah.
The others are looking and then you just start clapping. And the guy goes, okay.
Beginner's luck, surely.
And he pushes the 60 gold over to you.
Oh, snap!
I love that. So he called him on one round, and there was an entire round that was just designed to sleight of hand. what a great game of cards for there to be in a sailor's tavern.
Every cunt cheating.
While his sleight of hand is not looking at my hand.
So he was too busy cheating to notice you.
Honestly, I did not cheat you out of
I like to think
mystical game.
I like to think that everybody playing that game would just take sleight of hand. Nobody will look at each other. So
Yeah.
they're all there like.
Just like-
Hopefully I can out you.
So, what? So, apart from your gold, you said you have a ship.
I do. Sarah,
Yes.
you all right?
Yeah.
Don't die on us yet, love. Don't die on us yet. We're nearly there. So I do have a ship, Mr. Argen.
So, how about you need any passenger on it up to Quran? Tourists, of course.
It'll
Okay,
cost you 60 gold.
Per head?
Oh, is it more than you?
Yes.
How many more? Maybe we could do a deal.
I think there's a 6 of us.
6 of you. I do 40 gold a head.
Seems pretty reasonable. Well, do you need 40 gold your like best price, or is it? We are quite capable individuals who can help you on the ship.
Can you sail?
Some of us can.
Who?
The big one over there. Can't point at Nalla because she's good. I can point her out in the crowd.
Deception check?
Perception check.
Well, yeah, because you're lying.
I can't see her.
Deception.
Oh, deception. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, deception.
Yeah. 16.
Cool. I don't believe you.
You don't believe? Oh, well.
That,
I'm not talking about sailing. I'm talking about lifting. Talking about doing all the heavy stuff. You know, lifting the anchor, pulling the
he
set.
points at the three. He points at the 3 half orcs. It's covered.
Yeah, but half gods could take a day off. I don't know.
All you need to do is hand over 240 gold and enjoy the trip.
Let me do the math.
You can get an abacus out if you wish. That's the right amount. The abacus says 250.
When do you sail?
In 3 days.
Do you mind if I put this to my gang of reprobates over there and get back to you?
No, go for it. Don't forget to speak to your sailor woman.
I'll get her a little hat just for you, eh? It was a pleasure, gentlemen.
And as you walk, and you just hear a poof, or a jingle of money as he puts another pouch on the thing. It's quite a hefty pouch, and they start dealing out again.
I suppose you're not going to miss the money. But I go back to the gang.
Cool. You go back to the gang. Etain, are you back with the gang?
Yeah, I suppose so.
The gang is back together.
So the gentleman over there playing cards, they're going to Quran in 3 days. 40 gold ahead.
40 gold ahead.
The dwarf over there he can head up that way for 60 per.
60.
Older man with a very nice necklace recommended that we talk to some people in the White Lock, which is a smaller pub near the merchants area. So I may start making those inquiries as well.
40 gold ahead. Could you? Do we think we could make that in 3 days? That is 240 gold.
How much?
Nalla, how much do we have?
Enough.
There you go, guys.
Then perhaps.
We could do with trying to see if we could get them down to like 200.
Or we could spend the next 3 days.
I tried to make them believe you were a sailor, Nalla. They went by it.
No, I won't buy that neither.
We could perhaps make some more money in the next 3 days because we need to remember to take some with us too. I'm sure even in Etoria they're in need of people who can do what we can do.
Why don't we see what Etain's going to the other pub, isn't she? So
We can
why
do that as well.
don't we
Yes, to see if
what
we can find it cheaper.
Etain
But
comes back?
but
If we
in
find
the
something cheap.
in the meantime, 240 gold, if we can afford it, is a reasonable deal. We can probably make some more.
That depends on whether you trust him or not.
I don't.
So why are
Compared
we?
to 60 gold ahead, though, it's quite a difference.
I
think-
couldn't tell if it was.
I would
Not
trust the dwarf I was speaking to.
Nalla, can we afford 60 gold ahead? So 300?
I would say yes, but it's putting it quite tight. It won't leave us with
When
much.
is the dwarf leaving?
If the person that he is planning to meet doesn't show up soon, he'll be leaving within a day and a half.
A day and a half. All right.
Probably less.
But is he making
But he
his way to Quran?
Who is he looking for?
A business associate of his. I don't think we can. This is not something we can help with.
I was going to say, is there a way we can cheapen it by helping him? But
No, not that kind of business associate.
Will he take us all the way to Quran?
If we can pay for it, then probably, yeah. At the very least, he can definitely get us halfway there.
But still for 60 each.
No, for less than that. But we would still at that point have to get another boat or horses or whatever.
then perhaps, well, Etain, you make some inquiries at this
We'll go see if we can make
other
some more
place. We can try and hire ourselves out to make some more money, perhaps.
Oh, just on that note, I'd like doubled my goal since being here. Just go and get face punched in by that dwarf.
I'm not
You
sure
know what?
that's
I
really
think
something that all of us can do.
Hey, it's not something I could do, but it's still up to.
I couldn't take a handshake from that guy. I've seen him before.
I think you were pretty lucky, Argen. Pretty lucky not to be in pieces by now.
I don't know. I think I took the full brunt of the lot.
And then perhaps when we
That
get
guy.
the quiet moment, Nalla can perhaps punch you in the face, and we'll see how that goes.
Probably
that's
not.
Look, put it this way: if that's the guy I'm thinking of, when he was 12 years old, he was juggling whole sides of beef.
And there we have it. There we have it. She misses one fucking week.
Now people are juggling beef. The beef
If
juggler.
it's the guy I'm thinking of.
Sendraks,
It might not be.
would you be happy? Would you be happy, perhaps earning some gold with us?
Say that again, sorry?
Sendraks, I know you're trying to keep a low
Yeah.
profile, but would you be happy trying to earn some gold with us?
Absolutely.
Then let's perhaps make some inquiry. Is there a jobs board or something like that that we could perhaps look for? See if we can, similar to Crew, see if we can make some money within the next couple of days. So we'll pick up some easy tasks, but for some money. Etain, do you know of a jobs board here, or I don't know if you have to ask the DM if there is a jobs board.
I got nothing.
Right.
This isn't my turf.
All right. Then perhaps we head into. There is a market area. Yes, it is still fairly early on in the day. Perhaps we can speak to some merchants or see if there are, if they have some people who are, what is it?
It's a town.
Looking for people like us.
It's a town. Let's just go and start.
I'm sure.
Everybody knows.
Let's
This
head
is
out. Let's head out into the market. see what we can find.
Not to forget that there's also the option of helping these elvish sailors out.
And that
Of
is
course,
that is true. Would you like to perhaps head down to the dock and speak to their people?
Yeah, yeah.
So if Etain heads to this white lock place, you head to the dock. Argen, I don't know if you want to stay here and try and keep doubling your money, or if you want to come with us.
I am coming with you. Yeah.
Okay, then myself, Sendraks, Argen, and
Giles, what's up with Giles?
Nalla. Perhaps we will head into the market and see if we can offer our services to people.
I'll be back in a minute.
Am I going to need to be punched in the face?
Well, hopefully we can find some work that involves you punching people in the face, because that is what you're good at. Right? Look at you. I'm still quite scared.
Or maybe like a cooking competition.
Oh, in
Maybe we
fact,
could have
yes.
another bake-off.
Yes. But either way.
Who's going where? Elantara's going to the docks.
Yep.
So
Etain's going to White Lock.
So Taylor's got a White Lock.
And then the rest of us are going to walk into the market and see if we can hire ourselves out as mercenaries, badass adventurers, all sorts.
Elantara's going to the docks. And the rest of you, Sendraks, you going with the rest of them to the market, or you going with Etain or Elantara?
No, I'm going wherever Nalla's going.
Yeah, look at that. Rest market. Right. Oh, she's still out and about. Right. Who wants to go first? Etain, the rest of you, or Elantara?
I'd like to have a conspiratorial word with Nalla while we're walking away.
Yes.
Once our little group is just out of earshot.
So Etain wanders off towards a pub called the White Locks, which is totally off down an alley. There's just a small wooden sign.
Wooden sign. It's down an alley,
so,
is it now?
No, well, the surveyor
That's familiar.
Don't be making me, all right? There's
I
a
will
lot of
not leave
Yorkshire
your
folk in this
side.
world. Elantara heads towards the dock area, straight towards the ship that was full of elves. The rest of you, so Nalla, Argen, Malzeth, and Sendraks, you start walking towards the very obvious market area. Malzeth and Argen are ahead, and Sendraks and Nalla deliberately hold back so they're out of earshot. Sendraks and Nalla, go.
Nalla.
Yeah.
Etain's contact.
Yeah.
I'm not keen.
Which one?
The one that's offering us a boat ride, sort of halfway there-ish, for money.
Why?
Etain's track record on contacts so far on this journey has not been great.
Oh, shit!
Gonna need some ice for that burn.
It's not really her fault that one of her so-called friends did one and tried
I'm
to
not saying it's her fault. I'm not saying I don't trust her. I don't.
Okay, well, none of them will get to you before they die first.
I don't know who of her contacts have spoken, and we don't know who he's spoken to. But I don't trust anyone in that network.
You cut off through that. Sorry, I couldn't hear you properly.
I don't trust anyone who's within Etain's network of contacts, because I don't know who's talking to who. I don't know if Riesler made it to this city after talking to people.
That's very true. Well, we're probably going to end up going with one that Argen got anyway, because this is cheaper. But we'll keep a listen out and see what happens. But no one will lay a finger on you without me snapping it.
Thank you.
Right.
So you carry on walking. Etain, Elantara, who wishes to go next?
Do you want to go first, Sarah? I'm in the middle of something.
Let's go, go, go.
Elantara, as soon as your party have just fucked off, you're making your way towards the dock area again, avoiding people carrying stuff and knobheads and etc., shouting stuff at each other. And you make your way towards where the elven ship was brought in. And the way they are unloading their ship is a lot more sophisticated, smoother, intelligent. They use the pulleys to more better effectiveness. They're slower, but because they're doing it more proficiently, they're almost as fast, if not faster, than the orcs and humans that are just hoying it off the dock and the decks to the dock. Sorry. You can see that even those that are doing the graft, as it were, are still pretty well dressed. They're still in scruffs compared to those that you see on the deck. There's a very obvious split between the command of the ship and those doing the graft. You can see from here there is on the side, so right at the prow, or on either side as you're approaching the ship, you can see a large lily leaf painted on both sides. As you head towards it, the wood is very clean. This ship is well looked after. All the sails, like I said before, are quite triangular. It's a really big 3-mast galley. You can see the people on the deck now, those that are in charge. They are in their black silks and they have white sashes. And again, they're all very well. They all have swords at their hips. And you can see 2 quite clearly warriors, fighters, people of a very martial stature. They have a breastplate on that you can't really tell, but I guess it doesn't look metal, so your experience probably hardened leather, but you won't know till you got closer. And it isn't defined in like a muscle caress or anything like that. It's just a smooth breastplate. They're very well to do. They're very straight backed, and they are flanking left and right a young elven lady whose hair is as white, couldn't get any whiter, almost like Snowball's beard. Just saying. And they're pottering around on the ship and they're walking around. And then you see a gentleman come down from higher up on the further back and clearly talking with those of rank on the ship. And where you are, down on the deck, down on the dock, sorry, you see the people walking. There is another elven gentleman. His hair is shorter than he does, and it's in a small bun rather than a top knot. He's sleeveless. He's not muscly, but he's a sailor, so you can tell he's walking around, and he's giving commands to the others in Elven. And even though it's quite a smooth dialect or accent, should I say, but it's just Elven, no common spoken, and he's giving simple commands like put that there, move that slower, you move it over there, etc. And he's another one that has a white sash around him.
Okay. Right, so I'm going to aim for a white sash guy then.
Cool.
Right, how far out from... is there a gangplank up onto the ship?
Yeah, there's several. It's a 3-mast galley, so it's massive.
Okay.
They're on the dock, though. There's this gentleman.
Oh, right, okay. Right, I'll head over then.
Okay, so you head over. A couple of them sort of stop.
I expect I'm going to get stopped by someone, yeah.
He's got his back to you. A couple of them stop lifting, and they just nod over his shoulder towards you. And he turns around, and this is the first elf you've ever seen with stubble. All the other elves are clean shaven. Give me a perception check.
24. No,
yeah.
22.
Yeah, he's half elven.
Still
of the almond eyes rather than the round, but he's half elven, and he's physical presence is not as lithe as the others. He's got a bit more.
Okay,
meat.
a bit more stocky and yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's like, hello.
Would you be Eto?
I am indeed. Who are you?
Elantara of the Mountain. I was
He
speaking
gi-
with one of your passengers
He
who
gives a nod.
gave me your name.
Hello, Elantara of the Mountain. I am Ito of the Wandering Leaf.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Ito. I am in the area with some friends, and we were told that you could perhaps be looking for assistance of the type that some adventurers may be able to give you.
Ah, you are adventurers, warriors of the world.
We're a mixed band.
He
We have
says,
fighters, we have a bard, myself a druid.
you
So
are
equal to many challenges.
you are of the moon, yes?
Yes.
Yes. We do not have many of the moon. My apologies, 1 second. And he turns back to the rest of them and he just starts speaking in Elven, telling them to get their move on, sort themselves out. He's a lot more direct with them. His politeness is not so much there. And then he turns back to me. I am sorry. Adventurers offering aid. How good are your adventurers? We have many people approaching us, challenging our aid. See if they can take our gold. We are very lucrative. Not many elves.
I thought that might speak in my favour. We are a varied group, so we have someone that you can send anywhere pretty much. We have a human who's very good at getting into places, seems to know someone everywhere, always has a tail
like
to
that.
turn. For the more overt violence, a Goliath travels with us.
A Goliath?
Mm-hmm.
Strong.
He is. And those are just a couple of our fellows. Who else has approached you with such useful and varied people working with them?
Have you heard of Bronze Falls?
I don't know, have I?
You have not.
I have not.
No.
No, it's not familiar to me.
Well, Bronze Falls is where we are escorting our cargo. Is a terrible word. One of our
Esteemed
nobles.
passenger.
Yes. One of our nobles, and it is to Bronze Falls that we must escort.
I see. And
Before
what do you
she's
expect
travelling.
from the terrain?
Say again, sorry.
What do you expect from the terrain?
From the terrain,
Yes.
we will follow the path, and it is well guarded. But we will, if the only aid I can think of is if you were to walk ahead. I do not trust the Etorians. I do not trust anyone who is not of the Elven heritage. I'm not even sure I trust you. I'm simply...
You're a cautious man.
yes. But if you were to travel ahead, you are, as you say, adventurous and very powerful. Then if anyone was laying in wait, you could probably scare them off.
Scare them off, or you'd at least be alerted when we join battle with them.
Exactly.
And what would this kind of assistance be worth to you?
What do you require? What are you wanting in return?
We seek passage to Karath.
Quran?
Karan.
The
Is that
City
something
of
you can
Dragons?
provide?
Well, we go past it on our journey home, but it is
I see.
the City of Dragons, my lady, is not for elves. They do not like our folk.
And I do not like cities. But we must do what we must.
Your need to be there must be great if you are willing to wander. You do not like cities, and you are walking into a city of your enemy, even though they are not your enemy. Unfortunately, it is a thing of the past. But it still haunts both sides of the coin.
A holdover, yes.
I cannot speak for the captain nor for the lady, but I will always go out of my way to help fellow kin. And if your adventurers are to go ahead and make sure the way is clear, then it would hopefully lead you, put you in good stead to start a conversation with the captain.
I see. I shall return to speak with the rest of my party. When are you expecting to depart for Bronze Falls?
I believe the lady will spend the night on the ship, and then we will leave in the morning.
So if I was to return by sunset?
That would be more than early enough. I will no doubt be on here telling these clowns what to do.
Thank you, Rita. I shall speak to my companions.
And he gives you a lot more. He bows lower than Hedo did.
I should then reply.
Cool. So, you put her off, go looking for your companions.
Hey!
Etain, you walk down the alley into a pub called the White Locks. You walk in there, it's a very old building, thick wooden beams. It's just by sight. It's shut up, Sendraks. It's a very old establishment. It's a lot older than the taverns that you saw on the front. There is a
Could be the oldest pub in the city.
could be. You're walking there, and it isn't as rowdy as the tavern you just left. The people in there are clearly first mates and captains. They're very well dressed. They're drinking. They're just talking casually about the last few days or last season's trade or the coming season's weather warnings from the seers and oracles, trying to earn a couple of silver and lying. They're all just swapping stories. It's full of people of varying sorts. Who are you looking for?
I go up to the barman.
There you go, man. It's an elderly gentleman and he's... Hello. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Pint, please.
Pint of?
The pint.
What do you recommend? I'm new in town. What do you recommend?
Several ales from across the way. We have pale ale, dark ale, not so dark ale.
Got any reds?
Yeah. That's 2 silver.
I passed some 4. And I was wondering if you could help me as well. I'm looking for passage up north, and I was wondering if you could point me towards somebody in this establishment who might be of assistance.
He looks around the bar, I wonder if Peleus is still here. And he looks down the bar, and just in like a little, the little cubicles, open cubicles.
Yeah.
Just see a pair of black boots with silver buckles on them. And then he goes, yes, Peleus. And then leaning forward, you see a dragonborn of purpley lilac skin. All right. His name's Glober. No. He just looks past you. He has 2 very, very short horns protruding from his head. And they look like gemstone. They don't look like bone or anything like this. His eyes, again, purple and dark. And he just leans forward and he's like, yes. He's like, this young lady will, she wishes to speak to you. And he stands up, and as he stands up, he comes around the corner, graceful as shit, cat-like, you name it, you know this guy can dance. On his hip is almost like a hand and a half handle, and it's got a basket hilt. the sheath it's in is like it's a loop rather than a full sheath, and the entire blade is made of amethyst. Yep. And he's got that on his hip. He has chainmail on, but it is incredibly small links. Give me an intelligence check. It's got incredibly small links, and he has a long jacket over it that's sleeveless, and a shirt that dark shirt that pops out. Braces on his arms again in the same thin, really small chain links.
That is a 19 on the intelligence.
19. It looks elven in craft, and that's just at a guess from what you've read, heard, etc. Back in Krull. And he comes towards you. He's tall. He's small at the hip, wide at the shoulder. Not like massive wide. Definitely looks like those of Krull, the adventurers that claim to be fighters, or monks, or paladins, or rogues, or rangers. Anyone that could probably move quite gracefully across the battlefield. This guy stands out as one of them. His features are not as aggressive as some Dragonborn, so that he still has the sharp teeth and the square scaled head. But yeah, he's very subtle, and he walks over and he just puts his clawed hand on the bar. Taps the bar. The barman brings him over a drink, but he brings it over in a small cup, and it's a clear liquid. Sips it. How can I help you?
Peleus, was it?
It was indeed. Peleus Gorvo.
My name is Etain Miller from Krull. I was wondering if I might speak with you for a couple of minutes.
It depends what you're wishing from those couple of minutes.
You're implying something?
Yes.
What are you implying?
What do you want?
I am looking for passage to Quran, and I was informed by the barman that you might be the man to speak to.
He is correct, and you are a half-elf.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! I am sorry. There is no need. Don't. Fine. And you are a half-elf.
And
Quran. This is the city of Dragon. Do you know nothing? The Dragonborn will probably hurt you.
right, okay. Why?
Because you're half-elf.
What if I wear a really big hat?
There you go.
What if I wear a really big hat?
I suppose, as long as your ears are covered and your finer features, so you may want to wear a mask.
Oh. So, this wouldn't be a very good idea then, no?
It wouldn't be a very good idea, but it is one I would happily help you with, just for shiggles.
Oh, I like you. How much would I... Let's say hypothetically, if I was to do this immensely stupid thing, how much what are your rates like?
For just yourself?
No, for a party.
Are they all elves?
No.
I'd let you go for free, just because I think it'd be amusing. But your friends... 100 gold for them all.
For all of them?
For all of them.
Deal.
You can put that ukulele down. I'll bring it back to them and see what they say. And actually, since we're talking cran and dangerous or interesting things there. I heard this really weird rumor in the Dark Heart. Why is there a massive bounty on silver and gold dragonboard at the moment? What's that about?
He looks at you and just raises one eyebrow that I can't do, so you'll have to imagine it. They are the children of all dragons. Are you okay, half-elf?
I'm fine, but I'm still not sure why there's I don't understand why that means bounty.
There is power in oldness, in ancientness. You yourself, maybe not you, as you are half-elf, but the elves live forever. The longer they live, the knowledge gives them great power. Imagine the first of the elves, the first of the Goliaths, or the first of the humans, to grace Colossus with their life. They would have been raw and powerful. Silver and gold are the first.
So, does that mean then that whoever's offering the bounty wants to draw on or use that power? Is that what's happening?
If I gave you a powerful sword, what would you do with it?
Well, me, I'd probably sell it.
Do you have a powerful sword?
No. Do I look like the type to carry swords?
What if your enemy was running towards you? Would you sell them the sword or strike them with it?
Then I would probably strike them with it.
So, if my people get hold of ultimate cosmic power, but do not fear. The silver and gold are long, long gone from this world. It is folly and daft to send people looking for them, filling their heads with a reward of 5,000 gold pieces. A mere pouch full of coins.
Which raises other questions, actually.
Does it?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you send all these people off on a fool's errand, what are you going to do behind the backs while they're all chasing clouds, chasing memories?
That would be down to those that put the bounty on in the first place.
And that's why it's interesting.
Are you seeking to ask them?
Well, it's probably a suicide mission at this point, but I'd kind of really like to know now.
75 gold. And my friend here, Black Betty, will come along.
I lost my plectrum shit.
Grow a thumbnail. And how long are you planning to stay in town? Will you be here for a while?
I will stay as long as you wish me to stay. For I wish to see you walk into around.
You're going to have popcorn, aren't you?
I don't know what that is, but yes.
It's
Popped corn, I understand.
it's a snack. It's popular at spectator events.
Do you like spectator events?
Well, they're usually fairly profitable for me. People like me.
Or betting?
No. I'm a tour guide. I bring people. I direct them towards the best seats, the best rates.
Before you carry on, I am aware of the tour guides. They are a unique commodity within the towns, and I am fully aware of how you make profit on spectator spots. So if I am to give you a ride to Quran, I will be keeping an eye on my money pouch and anything else of value on my ship. Now, unless you have anything else to speak of, I will let you go back to your friends and I will carry on drinking. You will find me here.
All right. Thank you very much.
You leave?
I slip the barman the cost of his next drink, finish my pint, and then I leave.
Cool. Sendraks, Malzef, Argen, Nalla. You'll meet up. You're in the market square. You fresh fish, sugar dates and pistachios, best swords in all the world. And some give us something. Little wooden toys.
It's Malzef, so this was your idea then?
Is there like a central like square bit? Like is
Yeah, so
there...
as you walk in, there's a fountain, and then all the stalls around it. And then they go out again, and there's more stalls behind it. And in the fountain, there is a it is a small like lizard creature, like a huge gecko, the size of Tiny, not Sendraks, Mastiff. Just sat there, and it's spitting water into this fountain, and people are throwing copper coins into it.
Is there one of the market stalls? Is it like particularly? Does it have weapons and stuff? Is it like some guy was calling out about weapons? Yeah.
Yeah, there is a gentleman. He's got loads of racks, and they're like covered over with material, and you can see there's swords and spears and axes and hammers, small, there's daggers, shorter swords, long swords, rapiers, scimitars. There's a couple of maces, morning stars.
I turn to the rest of them. I'm like, come with me, come to here, and head over to that stall.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You get there. There is a bloke. He's got his hair tied back. It's slicked really far back. You can see it's really curly, but he's pulled it so tight that he's trying to pull the curls out of his hair. He's tied into a ponytail. And he's got a jawline, black beard. And he turns around and he's like, yes?
My friend, you look
Friends,
like somebody.
give me a gold, I'll give you a sword.
I do not need the sword myself, but...
What do you want? Staff? Hammer? Mace? Sickle?
Perhaps information. So, you look like somebody...
And he looks around at the swords.
No. Trust me. You look like somebody who can handle themselves in a fight because of your equipment, yes?
Yes.
So, do you, one, either know of a place we can perhaps make some money as adventurers? We are from Cruel, so we are looking to make money that way.
Cruel.
Or
the town of dreamers.
Yes, yes, I might say. Or two, do you know of a fight pit or somewhere we can...
You're in the Etain Empire, my friend. There is a fight pit in every town all across the land.
Money can be made there, yes? Like a lot of money.
Well, it depends how good you are at fighting.
You see the Goliath over there? And I point them out.
Yeah, I cannot miss the Goliath over there.
Exactly. She is a...
Who is the hulking thing in the robe?
Oh, that is nobody. More importantly, the barbarian, the Goliath, is ridiculously strong. I have seen her tear people apart, and I think
She's a Goliath.
Yes.
The great Bahamut was a Goliath.
I do not know much about this Bahamut, but perhaps this is the second coming. And I intend to maybe take her into this arena and show you what she is made of, and then
you want to take her into the arena,
or the fight pit, whatever you call it. Is there an arena or?
There is an arena. You're in the Etain Empire, of course. There's an arena.
But I do not know much about the Etain Empire. But if we start out in the fight pits, perhaps. Can we make money there? Good money.
I don't know about good money. Depends how good you are. Send a fighter in, put loads of money on them. If they win, you get loads of money.
Like I say, she is very good. Very good.
What if we entered a team?
Well, I don't know. I don't run the fight pit. You'd have to ask the fight pit people.
What is your friend, man? Your name, my friend?
What is my friend?
Friend,
Well,
my-
I've
your
got a
name,
friend
your
called
name.
Steve. I've known him a long time.
Your name.
I'm Alexa.
Alexa.
Yes.
Could
Sorry,
you-
folks, I'm going to have to crash.
Okay, mate.
All right.
And I
No. If you are you here all day? Is the fight pit open in the evenings? Could we take you
It's
with us?
mainly in the evenings. It's mainly in the evenings.
If you were to finish here and you were to come to the fight pit with us, or take us to the fight pit, I promise you, if you bet money on my friend Nalla here, she will double it. She will make you money. If you put
Come here.
bets on her.
Sunset.
Perfect. This is how we should do it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Alexa.
not a problem. And then you just said, "It's fresh fish." I hate that guy.
He doesn't even sell fish. He's not even selling fish. It's like apricots or some shit.
The one next to him, never mind. We'll call it there.
Aye.
Perfect.
I hope you all had fun streaming it. It was really.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll figure out how to use it next time.
Sarah, it was really good to have you running around doing lots of stuff.
Elfie.
I'll actually start writing things down now.
Discover the
Oh, yeah.
world.
Thursday.
You motherfuckers have got me notes everywhere, so you best be keeping them as well.
Oh, fuck that
I've never written notes during this one before. I kind of feel dirty, I'm not going to lie.
And then there's that guy.
Would you
You
rather
know.
the fresh fish?
You
Yeah.
love it.
I hope you had
Fresh
fun.
fish.
Did you all have fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got smashed in the face.
You walked into that.
The
You
con
literally
check,
asked for it.
the con check was 20.
Was it?
Oh, wow.
And you got 20 the first time and 21 the second time.
Well, yeah.
If he hits you with his left, then we'll see again.
I can't believe that game, that dice game.
Oh man, that was
Can I have
ridiculous.
There's literally a round where everybody cheats.
That was amazing.
Fucking brilliant. Right, yeah. I hope you was impressed by my many accents.
Love
And,
them.
Better range of accents than I have.
yeah. Well, that's because I know English and bad English. You just know Irish. There's a difference.
Oh, snap!
I mean, he's not wrong. Well, no. Technically, there's Irish and then there's pure culture, which is what happens when I shout. Because I was sent to elocution lessons because Mum didn't like the accent in the area that we were living.
Well,
So this is like trained Irish accent.
Ooh, I like it.
Brilliant.
I can pronounce my THs.
I've never
That's
heard
fair.
of it. So,
I spent a
Right.
long time trying to lose my posh accent and instead of just ended up sounding English.
You do not sound English.
just the odd moment every now and then when you get wound up. Fuck yeah, you bastard. Anyway.
Oh, pal!
Yeah. To be fair, if Elantara the Moon Elf becomes Scottish, that'll be like just a raging joke.
Say yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah. Get off.
Good night,
I'll
all.
see you all later.
Nice.
Love you all. Bye-bye.
Night.
Bye-bye.